Hey everyone, it's me again. I just wanted to do kind of a review slash breakdown process of the Springfield XD Mod.2. Now I've got the stainless steel version here and a 9mm. It's an amazing gun. I've put, I don't know, a couple thousand rounds through it, and it's never once failed me or jammed or anything like that. It does come with two different magazines. Right here is the short, stubby magazine, then it also comes with the extended one that holds a few more rounds. With this stainless version, the reason why I got it was because I constantly carry it every day, and it hides the holster wear because it actually doesn't get any holster wear on it, and that's what I really like about it. It cleans up really well. It's just a great looking gun. So what I wanted to do was kind of show you the takedown process of it and what I do. It may not necessarily be the right way, but what I do when I clean it, and even when I just oil it, you know, like a month or so between oilings and stuff, just to keep it in storage nice and oiled and rust free and everything like that, ready for when it needs to be used. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to check to make sure that the gun is clear. I'll remove the magazine out of here. And we'll hold open the slide, and as you guys can see, there's nothing in there. So what you'll want to do with this is you'll want to lock the slide back, and then right here is the takedown pin. We're going to push that up. Oh, if I can get it. Push that up like so. And I like to hold the slide so it doesn't go forward, but you'll release the slide and then pull the trigger, and the slide will come right off. And then I'll set the grip off to the side because you're not really going to need that right now. And inside here you're going to see that you have the spring, and underneath the spring is the barrel, then you got the fire pin assembly and everything like that. The nice thing about this gun, and most guns now, but I've had a few that haven't quite had this, is the spring is always together. I've had a few guns that once you release it off the barrel, it comes shooting out and you have to go and find it, and it's a pain in the butt to get back on. But this is really nice. They did a really good job with this spring assembly. So after you've removed that, you got the barrel that will just slide right on out. And that right there is the quick breakdown process of the XD Mod.2. I mean, you could go farther and tear down, you know, the firing pin assembly, but a lot of times you don't really need to do that unless you're going to do a full deep cleaning of it. So with the barrel, what I like to do is I like to make sure that the ramp is nice and polished and clean, no carbon on it or anything like that. Make sure it's kind of got a light coat of oil on it. I always like to make sure that the barrel itself has some oil on it to prevent some rusting. You're going to want to check the inside of the barrel, make sure there's no obstructions, make sure that you can see the spirals in there just like that. Make sure they're clean. Sometimes I'll run a little bit of a cloth in there that has just a little bit of oil in there to help protect that as well. So when it comes to gun oil, I actually like to use the Lucas gun oil. I actually picked this up at my local auto parts store at Napa, and they had it right on the shelf for me, and it's been really well. It's actually also a really good oil for like your electric shavers. It sounds weird, but it's actually a really good oil for that too. So when it comes to the barrel, I'll just put a little dab on there, and I'll just rub it around with my finger. Kind of make sure I coat all the surface, and I kind of just put a lot on there, so I'm gonna clean it up with a cloth. Get a bunch of it off on my hands there like that. Clean it off there just a bit. Get some on that ramp there. Set that off to the side. Looks like my spring's actually got enough oil on there to be nice and lubed and protected. Put some on the ends there. And then I'll actually put the gun back together after I get the barrel done. Because once that's done, the only thing left to really oil for a good proper function is the slides down in here where the plastic and everything moves, where the slide meets the grip. So I just put a very little dab in there, kind of like that. I'll do the same with the other side. Just a little dab kind of pick the slide up so it can run up and down the rails there. And then once you've done that for a second, we can put the grip back on, pull it back, lock it in the position, and we'll take that tab and we'll push it back down, locked in place. We can then release the slide, and just like that. What I like to do after this is I actually just run it, rack the slide a couple of times, make sure all the oil is distributed in there nice and evenly. And then I'll just do a quick dry fire to get that hammer released. And then on the blued versions, a lot of the times I'll actually take and rub some oil on the slide itself. With the stainless, you don't really have to do that. You know, if you really want to store it for quite some time or anything like that, or if you're going to be putting it in and out of holsters a lot, it kind of makes it easier to go in and out of the holster if you got a little bit of oil in there. So with the excess that's on my fingers, I'll actually just kind of rub it on there very lightly. That way it doesn't collect a lot of dust or anything like that. And that's really about all you need to do for storage purposes or anything like that to keep your gun ready when it's needed. And then also, if you were to go shooting and you need to clean it afterwards, the best idea is to run one of the barrel snakes down there to kind of clean out all the carbon and stuff with a little bit of solvent. I use CLP. CLP is a really good brand, and I enjoy using that. It also is a little bit of a lubricant on there too, so you don't really have to wipe it all off or anything like that. You kind of just leave it on there, and that is the lubricant of it. Like I say, the initial review of this gun is it's very accurate right out of the box. I've never had to mess with the sights. It did come with different color of sights. You can see that it's got the fiber optic sights. That came with a couple of red strands that you can replace it with, and it also came with green if you like the green. I personally like the red. I think it stands out really well. It looks really good. But one of these days I'll get out there and I'll do a review of it at the actual range so you guys can see it, how it goes and everything. But if you have any questions on how to clean it, how to take it apart, or field strip it or anything like that, let me know. If you wanted to see anything else with this gun, leave it down in the comments, and I'll see if I can make a video for you guys to cover anything that you guys are wondering about. Feel free to hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe, and I will be making more gun videos and tech reviews and stuff like that in the future. And again, if you want anything to be reviewed or anything like that, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Thanks, guys.